Welcome to T.O.L Studios, and in lesson 19 we're going to take two scales we were just learning, the G scale and the D scale, and I'm going to show you something I've shown you in the C scale, and that was like when we were in the C scale we learned we could play kind of what I refer to as backwards diagonal. We took like our notes and ran it from a C, and that's to me going backwards diagonal because the way I see it, but it's going up in the scale again. Then we learned we could go vertical. Then I was talking about, since this C is the same note as this one, you could do the same two things if I started with my pinky. C, D, E, F, G, A. Those are the same notes as these first two I played. Then if I also came here and did it here, which is where my pinky just was, and did it a vertical shape, that was another way, but that's a fourth way of playing the same notes. Then I could come back, I said I could do an extended. That's a fifth way of playing the same notes. And if I can do that here, if I do that on this C, since that's the same note, that's the sixth way I can do it. Okay, so in most cases, that generally is going to be true for these next two scales I'll show you and the other scales to come. But you got to remember too, the reason it worked on the C note is I talked about anything before the A note, the E, the F. Now we're learning this as a sharp, the G. Eventually we'll learn this. Those notes, that's the only space we can play those on the guitar, unless we play them up higher. This note is the same note again as that fifth string open. So I'll kind of act like that's a fret again. That means these two notes are here. So again, whatever I play here, I can pretty much play it right here. I say pretty much because the A will be a little different too because of sharps again. But once I get up to that B note and this B, whatever I show you here, the two ways, you can play those the same way. And then the extended pattern, just like we just did in C and C. So here in a minute I'll show you the D will work that way. I'll go ahead and I'll start with D and then I'll backpedal to G because you can see what I'm saying. So like if I'm on a D scale and if I refer to playing it diagonal backwards, if I start with my pinky, I could go D, E, and then hit my F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Okay, now if I do that, what I want you to still realize, I just taught you that we're inside of pattern 3/4 because we're thinking of the sixth string. E note is the second note of the D scale. So if I go to the F sharp and the G, that's the third and the fourth note. As long as we know we're sitting there playing this pattern, that's all the notes. What I just did, same fingers, I just started on the D note. Now again, if you're like, well, how does he know this so easy? If you go slow, and I know I'm on F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, which puts me on my D. Now I'm saying I'm showing you a D scale just starting on the D, going D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And to me again that's like seeing it going backwards diagonal. If I go vertical, I'm going to be right here in the next pattern, and I'm going to start on the D here, which by the way I'm at this position, which this would be E, F sharp, G, A. So I'm in pattern 5 because A is the fifth note of the D scale. So if I'm in this pattern, when I do that, if I go A, B, C sharp, D, we'll see it going from a D, E, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. These notes are going to be the same notes as those. Okay, now like I did when we were in the C scale, if this is a D, okay, if I find D on the sixth string, I know E, F, G, A, B, C. So at the 10th fret, that D is the same note as that D. So what I just showed you here, playing it this way, and playing it this way. If we do that here, okay, but just so you realize I'm on this note starting in this position. This is a B note. This is pattern 6 I'm in, all the notes. But I'm in pattern 6 in the D major scale, that's why I'm at this position. So if I know B, C sharp, D, that's why I know it's a D, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And that's again going diagonal, backwards. If I start here on the 10th fret and go vertical, I'm basically right here, started on the D note, but I'm inside of pattern 7 and 1. Okay, but we're starting on the D note, so I'm going D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. All 4 of those, meaning when I play that like this, play it like this, or if I play it like, or if I play it like, all 4 of those are all the same notes. If I did that on a piano, that would all sound like the same. Okay, meaning if I was down here in this range, okay, there's only one way I can do that on the piano. If I do it anywhere else, it's higher or lower. What you just heard me on the guitar, see, they're the same notes. It looks funny because I'm on different strings and frets sometimes than what you get used to seeing. And again, sometimes you'll catch it. It might sound a little different, especially if I start on the lower strings because they're thicker. That also means I can do these extended ones. And if I can do that there, if I go back to the D note here, okay, do that one more, sorry. Okay, and again, when you do the extended, that's where you kind of connect in 2 patterns, kind of linking them together. Now that's your D. I started with that because you can do the D like on both these strings. If I go to the G, we're behind this A note, so I can't hit that G down here anywhere else. Now when I get up to here, I could show you how to do it in these smaller frets when the patterns kind of come back up from what we did down here. Once we get up here, I will have that possibility because this G note, okay, if I did this on the 5th string, so you can see this down here, if we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that G is going to be the same as E, F, G. Okay, so then I could show you like a G scale like I was just doing with the D, and kind of doing it that way. And then just like I said, this is the same, which I'll do this here in a second, so I'll slow down. And then I could say you could do that, and they're the same. So there's a 3rd way. Here's your 4th way. Then you could do the extended, and you could turn around and go to here and do the extended. Okay, so down here you can do that with the G note, but down here you can't because we just have this low one. So I'm just going to show you the 2 ways here. You'd have your G, A, B, C, D, E, your F sharp, and then your G. Okay, and that again, I'm in the G major scale now. E being the 6th note of that G scale, meaning when we play that open 6th string. So you can think of it this way, I'm basically in pattern 6, but I'm just starting with this because that's G, E, F sharp, G. So F sharp, A, and then I was running it from G to G. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then the open 3rd string for G. Now that's again kind of going diagonal. If I do it vertical and start on that note, now I'm inside of pattern 7 and 1. That's why I had you going G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, and then we could do the extended here. Okay, but see, I can't go back and start it on the 5th string anywhere because this is an A. I'd have to go lower than that, okay? But up here, if I find the A at the 12th fret on that 5th string, and if I go backwards a whole step, there's a G. That G is going to be the same G as when I'm on the 6th string at 12, which is E, then the F, G. So the 15th fret on the 6th string is going to be the same note as your 10th fret on the 5th string. So then I can do it up here, and that's what I showed you a minute ago. You could take your scale this way, which is the G major scale again. And that means we could do it this way, the extended. And then that is the same note as this. So we could do it this way. And then that means we also could do it this way. And the same thing's true. We could do the extended shape here. And I told you earlier, use this finger on that stretch, but I'll admit when these frets get smaller, I actually like to switch. That's easier for me here. That's why I said it's good to practice them both. Okay, or you could, for whatever reason, my fingers just cooperate a little bit more and then just switch up. Might do it that way. Okay, so that's a basic look again at just taking a few different scales that are going to have sharps, and again how I'm taking what we did from the C scale, knowing how that 6th string tunes so we can see what that letter is in relation to the scale that we're in, and then that determines what pattern that we've already learned we're going to start with, and I'm trying to drive it home in your head to see that whatever pattern you start with, on the next pattern, it'll be the pattern that normally follows that pattern. So the only thing that changes is which pattern do you start with when you're switching scales here. Once you get that one, they go in the same sequence like I taught you in the key of C. Okay, so I would go back and review your scales, start with that C scale, drive that one home for sure, and kind of recap watching slowly when I introduce the key of G and then the D scale. Next scale, we'll take a look at the A major scale. Thanks a lot for watching T.O.L Studios.